Hi there. It's a new year, and with that I've got some new plans for things I'm going to be doing. One of which is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, which is make some videos. So that's what I'm doing now. I haven't done it in the past because I just don't have the time for the editing and the planning and the research and things on top of everything else that I'm doing. But I still want to make videos. So the plan here is to make myself a cup of tea, get myself a biscuit, and just in that length of time, no editing, nothing fancy, just tell you what I've been up to, what's going on, that interests me medievally, and hopefully you can make yourself a cup of tea or a hot beverage of your choice, and we can discuss some medieval stuff. So that's the plan. Time for a cup of tea. So, cup of tea, chocolate biscuit. Let's start, shall we? First things first. Christmas was only, last week and a half away. Yeah, week and a half. I made a couple of things for Christmas for presents. The first thing I made was an embroidery frame for my wife. She does the embroidery on our stall. And she's been using modern embroidery frames, and she wanted a medieval one, so I had a look around, kind of saw what the design was like, and I've made one. I don't know how well it will work, but it looks nice, and my wife will now test that. She'll put a bit of cloth in the middle, suspended with threads all the way around, and use that for embroidering, and we'll see how that works. I think it's going to be a bit tricky for her after using modern frames, but we'll figure it out. It'll look nice anyway. So that's one thing I made, which is quite nice. The other thing I made was a present for my daughter. She does the runes on the stall, as well as Anglo-Saxon scripts and stuff. She's my apprentice scribe. And she uses this runes book quite a lot. It's a modern book, and it sits on the stall a lot, and I wanted to make it look authentic, so I recovered it with a couple of bits of nice oak, some nice leather, and then I burnt the runes on the spine and on the covers, pyrography, a special burning tool thing, and that looks really nice, and it's going to look great on the stall. Carrying on with Christmas, things that I got for Christmas. I got a lovely stack of books, which is always nice. I got The Art of Death, which is not particularly medieval, but there is some medieval bits to it, and it's about how death is portrayed in art. So that's definitely somewhere on my interests. I got a book called The Daughters of Chivalry, The Forgotten Children of Edward I, which is great. I mean, I don't really know much about the children of Edward I. I suppose I wouldn't if they'd been forgotten, would I? But yeah, looking forward to reading that one. Book on Henry Plantagenet, so Henry II, and that's the Henry that married Eleanor of Aquitaine and had Thomas Becket killed. So I already know this is a good story. I'm looking forward to reading this book. Here's a weird one, came out of left field. The Devil's Horseman, the Mongol invasion of Europe. So the Mongol invasion of Europe was about, here you go, 1241 Christmas Day. Again, not something I know a lot about, but in medieval Europe, you know, that would have been big news. So, yep, good book. A couple of books I bought myself when I was out and about. Because when I was doing Christmas shopping, I saw that there were cheap charity shop purchases. Actually, this one was. The other one I bought online. I got a book, Hildegard of Bingen, or Bingen, Hildegard von Bingen. Someone that I've been becoming more and more aware of recently. She was a woman. She did. She wrote lots of music. She wrote stuff. She philosophized, and seems to be a very interesting person. So that's something for me. Another date. And then something I kind of treated myself to. I bought online. Again, it wasn't expensive, but medieval Southampton. So I live in Southampton, and I'm fascinated about the old town of Southampton. Yeah, and I'll do a video on it one day. It's a really interesting place. I mean, the book's a little bit dry. I mean, it's a bit hard to. It's a bit academic. It was written in the 70s. It's a bit academic. It's a bit hard to read sometimes, but it's really interesting. And I'm certainly learning a lot about the town. So that's Christmas over and done with. Now looking forward to the new year. First thing I wanted to do this year, not that I've made any New Year's resolutions, but if I had, this would be one of them. That's finally to get round to mastering gold leaf gilding in my medieval manuscripts. I've been using gold ink mostly up until maybe earlier this year. Gold ink is easy to use, just paint it on, it's cheap to buy. I know where I'm at with it, I felt comfortable with it. The reason I haven't done proper gold leaf gilding up until now is because it's hard to find the right equipment and the right tools and the right tutorials. I mean, even with the internet and YouTube and stuff, there's so much conflicting information. There's so many people talking about, you know, the materials they're using in a way that just makes it hard to find, you know, hard to understand actually what it is they're using, where they got them from. And so I just kept sort of running around in circles and couldn't be bothered, so, you know, carried on my inks. I did try earlier this year. I got some bits and pieces together, but I bought some fake gold, and that really didn't work. But people I spoke to said, "Oh, you know, if you try it with real gold, it makes a big difference." And let me tell you, it really does. So this is what I've got. I mean, if you see my Instagram page, if you haven't, I'll put a link in the video down below. I did a nice illuminated initial letter on a little test piece, so that's what I've got there. I'll put some closer up pictures once I get around to doing a little bit of editing for this video. And what I used for that, and when you look at videos, people have all the equipment. They have like agate polishers and funny brushes and all sorts of liquids materials and, you know, special boards to do it on, and like wind stop things to stop the gold blowing around. There's a lot of stuff you can buy for this, but I think really I got by with just two purchases. So I purchased some Colna Miniatum, which is a size, and the size is just the liquid that you paint onto the paper where you want the gold to stick. So it's kind of like a glue. This one is yellow, so you can see where you painted. You can buy it clear. Quite often you'll see red size. You can make your own from ground up bits and pieces and like rabbit skin glue and what have you. So I might try that one day, but for now, size is good. Yeah, so paint it where you want the gold to stick, and then some gold leaf. And this is a little booklet of gold leaf. I won't be careful showing you this, I don't want it to blow away, but there you go, it's some lovely gold leaf. Not cheap. I think it's about 30 odd quid for a book of 25 things, so a little bit over £1 a sheet. But it works beautifully. Then all you do, like I said, you paint that where you want the gold to stick, you wait for it to dry, and then just before you put the gold on, you breathe on it, and the moisture and heat from your breath will melt the glue just enough for the gold to stick. And then just put it on, and then just brush the excess away with an old paintbrush. you can buy proper squirrel hair brushes or something, but I found an old soft paintbrush works just as well. So yeah, gold leaf, I'm going to be doing more of that. Now I've got it working and I understand the process, I'm going to do some more of that. And actually, I kind of need to get the hang of it because I'm going to be doing some workshops later in the year, and I would like to be able to include gold leaf in those workshops. Yeah, which brings me on to the last thing I'm going to talk about, and that is workshops. Well, workshops and events for next year. So I'm starting to plan. I've got a few events booked next year, and one of those events is Lockswood, and at that event there will be workshops for calligraphy and illumination and embroidery. You can book those on the Lockswood website, so again I'll put a link in the information below. Yeah, booked a few events. They'll all be on my website, but the website is a work in progress at the moment. Hopefully in a couple of weeks' time it should be ready to go live. You'll have information on who we are, what we do, and where we will be doing it. And it's looking pretty nice at the moment. I'm planning some more workshops. So there's an event, Valhalla Viking Festival in Basingstoke, which I will be at, and hopefully I'll do some workshops there. And I'm also planning some workshops at the Ancient Technology Centre, which is in Dorset. But again, it's early days. I'm just talking through that with the people there. But yeah, that'll be exciting. So if you're interested in those, go onto my Instagram. That's probably the best place to follow me. Or come back here. I'll announce it everywhere when I announce those dates. They should be good fun. And that's it for now. I think, like I say, a cup of tea, biscuit, a bit of a chat. I should do all the usual like and subscribe stuff. If you didn't like it, sorry, this is my first video like this. I'm sure as I do more, I'll get better and I'll figure out what works and what doesn't work. If you did like it, thank you very much. I mean, I don't really mind if you subscribe or not at the moment. In fact, I kind of rather people didn't look at this because I'm not particularly comfortable in front of the camera. But yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you got through to the end, well done. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.